Okay, so if we're looking at the percent error problem from your notes, we read it before we started. The student measured density was 1.40 grams per milliliter. That makes that the experimental, okay? So the student measured is the experimental. It clearly said in your problem that the correct or accepted density was 1.30. So that of course would be your correct accepted. And when you're doing percent error problems, the two that you're looking for is the experimental and the accepted. Those are the two you need for your formula that they gave you in your notes. So I'm going to take my numbers, I'm going to plug them into this formula and get my answer. Okay, so for experimental, that would be my student measured. I'm going to plug it in right here. Remember, we need our absolute value, because if this does become a negative up here, we're going to make it a positive. Okay, minus the accepted 1.30. I'm going to go ahead and add these so I don't forget, make it positive, over the accepted again. Okay, so I'm going to take my accepted again and plug it in right here. Don't forget the times 100. All right, now follow right along with my calculator. Try to get a good spot where you can see. Okay, I'm going to plug in my numbers that I have here. So 1.4, and do this in order. You need to do the top first. So 1.4 minus 1.3. All right, there's my top answer. You need to stop. Don't try to put it all in the calculator together, because that can mess you up sometimes. Okay, so what I would suggest doing is going ahead and jotting down that top answer. Okay, 0.1. All right. Or you can leave it in there, but just make sure you do this first, and then you take this number and divide it by the bottom, which is 1.3. All right, there's our answer. Now it's hard to see, move it out there for you. There's our answer. Okay, don't forget the last step is to times it by 100. Okay, and all that's going to do is move that decimal 2 places to the right for you. That's really your purpose there. And so your answer right here, 7.7% would be your percent error for that sample problem in your notes. Okay, don't forget, do this first, then divide, then multiply by 100. Don't try to stick them all in there together. And if you get a negative number up here, make it positive because of the absolute value.